Have they confirmed a BR? Is that what the labs was, or
Yes.
is labs like some other shit?
Yeah.
They announced if it's going to come out on release of this game, or is it like set to release later?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know when they plan that. But I do agree. If they're releasing a BR, they should do it before the Warzone comes out.
Excited for this game's BR. This game has so much potential, especially with Portal.
It does.
Dude, they have a very, very big opportunity here. Step one is don't lose this hype, because they have people about this game right now. They can't let that go away.
Battlefield has the opportunity right now to do something super insane. I feel like with COD being in the state that it's been in for a very long time, I feel like it's just always been in this weird, shaky state for quite some time. It's obviously an insanely popular game, and it will always be an insanely popular game. It's one of those games that you could crack open a cold one and sit down with the boys and just run a couple games and not take too seriously. Obviously, a lot of the vocal community, people like myself, people that grind these kinds of games and are diehards for it, will be a lot louder and vocal about stuff. But, I mean, there are definitely some standout issues right now when it comes to anti-cheat and content as a whole and communication and just so many different extra issues. You know, having an identity as a game, like the skins, all these different things. And Battlefield's kind of coming in right now, and you could see with the surge of viewership and how much hype there is around it, that they're doing something right, and it's pretty exciting just to have an option when it comes to like a first-person shooter. I totally do understand how some people have this image of like a BR comes in and just like, put a band-aid over everything with a BR. But in this case, I think it truly is a time where Battlefield as a whole could just take over insanely. First and foremost, the beta right now is obviously popping off. As far as you guys have seen, like numbers just from viewership is a great way to dictate how good something is doing, or at least how anticipated it is and excited it is. And clearly a lot of people are excited about Battlefield. Now, just from playing the game for a total of probably 15 hours during the beta already, I personally am enjoying the game. I have never grinded tons of Battlefields throughout my entire life. I am a COD kid. I'm coming over as a COD kid. I understand. I'm the bad guy in all this. I get it. But I'm coming over from the dark side, and I am really enjoying Battlefield. It's a great game, and I don't know what the best of the best Battlefields of all time have been. I know the last one apparently wasn't that great, but this game, regardless, is fantastic. The way it feels, the way that the pace of the game, the look of the game, the gunplay in the game, the stuff that matters feels great and is super fun. Now, for me personally, someone that is not a true hardcore Battlefield grinder, a lot of those main core modes that all the Battlefield community are super used to, like Conquest, it's super fun, and I've been enjoying it. But for me personally, it's not something that has like a start, finish, and end that really is like enjoyable for me. I just, there's something about that BR experience that I truly enjoy, and I know a decent amount of people do enjoy. What I love to see, and obviously what I could clearly tell they're focusing on, which is the most important part, is to please that Battlefield experience, that core Battlefield game. And they've done it. It feels super fun. Obviously, the full game's not out yet, but still, just based off of the beta, that part of the game, Conquest and Domination, all those different modes, is super fun. And I'm still personally excited to play more of it. But I think they also have the opportunity right now to do something super insane. Call of Duty and Warzone in particular don't drop for another few months. Until November, I'm pretty sure, is when Call of Duty Black Ops 7 is going to be coming out. And then Warzone, usually the integration or whatever takes place there with content usually comes out somewhat after that. Now, I'm not certain if this year is going to be the same as every year, because I'm sure COD has some type of back end. There's got to be so much conversation, so much word of mouth and different stuff that happens in the back end. They're clearly seeing what's happening with Battlefield right now. I feel like Activision and COD is one of those games and one of those companies that is kind of historically known for only really doing stuff when their back is kind of up against, they're forced to do it. You know what I mean? Call of Duty comes out in November. Battlefield comes out in October. It's already going to be out a month before that happens. Now, obviously, there'll be like Call of Duty beta testing and all that kind of stuff prior to that everyone is going to get to try out and play. But the game itself, the full game, will be out and ready to be played then. If they were to release a battle royale any time before, even if it was a few days or a week before Warzone can kind of do whatever announcement they're going to do, because like I said, they really only do stuff when their back is against the wall. They really only start to activate and start really locking in when the back is against the wall. A good example of this is their latest talk about the anti-cheat and one of the biggest problems that Warzone has always had, which is the hacking situation. In their latest blog post, in their latest patch notes, they're talking about, without a doubt, some of the things that will take the anti-cheat to the next level, and it's some of the most promising stuff they've ever actually said. Now, they've said a lot, and that's why I read this stuff and I immediately don't care, and I don't, because actions speak louder than words. There's been no action for years. So like, I'll read it. It sounds great. And it's the best that they've like kind of ever said. But again, they're still just saying it's not really, hasn't yet happened. So until it does, we'll see. But again, it's just a pattern that I'm noticing where it's like, okay, now they're really going to start locking in. But what Battlefield can do is this, because Battlefield comes out in October and Call of Duty Black Ops 7 doesn't come out until November. And then who knows what's going to happen with Warzone, or like when they're going to announce stuff with that. Maybe they'll rush it all and like get it all ready so it's super quick and they can have it like as a big announcement. Who knows, just to try to counteract all the hype around Battlefield. But like I said, I feel like Battlefield has such an insane hand right now. They have pocket aces, bro, and they could go all in. I swear, if they were to put out a battle royale before Warzone can even do anything and COD can do anything at all, they will already have that player base and the people that are trying out the game and enjoying the game, having fun with it. If it's like any of the game modes we can already play in the beta and Conquest at that caliber, just translated to a BR with obviously some different things. Obviously a BR plays different than the main game, but still just have that overall aura. Dude, they could lock in people so heavily that no matter what COD ends up posting or talking about or hyping up or announcing and putting out there, they'll kind of already have a solid piece of that like pie taken up. Battlefield will already have people locked into that. Now, if they wait just too long, they will do what is called the X-Defiant effect. Folks, do you guys remember when X-Defiant was first being shown, talked about, and hyped up? The overall gaming community as a whole was very fired up. Ubisoft, very big gaming company, creating a game, a first-person shooter with lots of promising things that people are talking about, like no SBMM and different, just very exciting, promising things. The best part about all that is that it was during a time very similar to what I'm talking about now, where COD is kind of just in this weird state. Everyone's kind of like, it's the game that you'll hop on for a little bit, play a few games, and like it's cool, but it's not really at the point where, like, for instance, peak Verdansk Warzone. It's not got people by the balls like it did kind of at that point. At the same time that X-Defiant was getting hyped up, that was the same state of COD at that time. And unfortunately, it just took so long for them to actually get stuff out and for them to do anything about all of the hype and build off the hype they had, strike while the iron's hot type shit, that it kind of just dwindled out. And it's kind of unfortunate. That's why I'm saying that, and I keep saying a BR, okay? Listen, I am fully also open to a whole new experience. For me personally, I don't want to speak for everybody because I know so many Battlefield 6 fans are going to just absolutely eat this shit up. The game is God tier, and I'm so happy for the Battlefield community as far as like the Conquest and all the different main core game modes. It's incredible. I'm having fun with it personally. I just know that there is another whole side of the gaming community that they could probably just nab and bite up and eat up and sweep up from COD and a bunch of other games that are craving an experience that is still very much like the Battlefield experience of like the realism military shooter, but give us that BR side of the game. Give us like the one where you kind of have a storyline, you start early, you drop in, you get your loot, you play with the boys. Just having that extra on top of it, holy shit. I mean, it would just, I feel like it could be insane. It could be incredible. To summarize everything, like I said, COD's just in this state that it's been in for a while where it's kind of just on a shaky grounds. It's kind of stale. The cheating issue is not being improved. A huge new big map might not even be, it hasn't even been announced yet. No one even knows if it's going to happen. It's even by some leakers, they've even found that it might be scrapped altogether, called Avalon. To summarize everything, COD is kind of on shaky grounds. It's in a weird stale state. Anti-cheat's kind of shit in the bed. Everything is about the game is kind of just in a weird state. Whereas Battlefield has an insane amount of hype right now. And like I said, I yapped a lot about how a battle royale could really save this whole thing, but it's not really even a battle royale. Just the game itself, full releasing and having just other ways to play it that kind of will... To summarize it all up, folks, like I just think Battlefield right now, it's obviously has a lot of hype around it. And I want to see the same thing that kind of happened with X-Defiant happen with Battlefield. I want to see them strike while the iron's hot. I think they got a lot of people that they clearly are winning over right now. I want to see that continue to happen. And now, by any means, the last thing I want to say too is that I do not come in here, especially as someone from a different game, from COD, saying like I want them to just like meet all my needs and do all my shit. I want them to stay Battlefield, do their own thing. I'm just saying I hope that there's some extra content and some extra stuff that comes out because I don't know. I just think it would be a win-win situation. Like it would just be a W. Could you imagine? I do not want them to change anything about the Battlefield experience when it comes to that BR. I want to see what that BR would look like in a Battlefield realm. Like, dude, I can only imagine the end of a game. You're in the final zone. You're in the last two teams, and there is a tank that you have to deal with instead of just like, a regular 1v1, like just different experiences. Or you're at the base of a building and you have all these C4 strapped up to the walls and everyone is camping up in the building above you, and you just blow the whole building up and everyone dies and you win the game and you get a 10 piece from that. Like, dude, so much crazy shit could happen in that kind of thing. It's more of a story mode experience. I feel like that's why it does really well with the streaming stuff, and I know I personally would enjoy it. I know a lot of my viewers and different people that play those types of games would enjoy it. Does it need it 100%? Obviously not. Battlefield's going to do very well and people are very excited about it, and I'm so happy for the community. That's basically it.